So here is the newest addition to our crazy circus. We adopted Snickers a couple of weeks ago. She's the cutest little teeny tiny little friendly cat that we have. She's super playful right now, and she loves to just perch right on top of my shoulder. So she may be making an appearance in the videos to come. So there you go. Hello everybody, and welcome to Lindsay's Little Library. I thought I would jump on here and kind of show you the birthday book haul that I have acquired over the last few weeks of September. Most of my family knows how much I love books, and so I either get gift cards to various places or money just to go buy books because, well, it makes me happy. So yeah, I have quite the pile here. Hopefully this is kind of the last book haul of the year for me. That's my goal. I don't know. I do still have one gift card I haven't spent, but I'm trying to save that for Colleen Hoover's new book comes out in October called Without Mercy. Colleen Hoover is one of my all-time favorite authors, like automatic buy, have to have that book. So I'm saving that gift card for that book specifically. But other than that, I really have no plans on purchasing any other books this year. So let's get into it. So first up is I got a $30 Amazon gift card in the mail. I have no idea who it was from, so if it was you, thank you. And so I, of course, went on and just emptied my cart right away. I think I've mentioned in previous videos with Amazon or Book Outlet, whenever I find books that I would like to purchase, I just add them to my cart, and then if like I get a good deal, or like in this case I got a gift card, I'll just go and empty my cart. I don't have to worry about browsing around because I already know what I want. So first up is The Fact of a Body by Alexandria Marzano-Lesnevich. This is a memoir that centers around a lawyer who strongly opposes the death penalty. She stumbles across the case that kind of hits, I don't know if it hits too close to home, or there's something about it that draws her in and kind of has her digging way deeper into a case and into the kind of the background of it than maybe what the facts that were presented to her are, and B, kind of questions a lot of her views, and she gets really wrapped up into it. So I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about this book, and I cannot wait to get it started. It feels like a very good October-ish book for me, but we'll see. Next up, I had pre-ordered Warcross by Marie Lu. This has been compared to Ready Player One, and we all know how I feel about when books are compared to other books, so I am taking that with a grain of salt, but it sounds like it is a similar vibe. So what this is about, and of course I didn't look up the character's name, Amika, I think. She is a gamer, and she is hired by this company to kind of be part of this game, Warcross, as sort of a spy, but she ends up getting totally wrapped into the game as kind of a player. So sounds phenomenal. I absolutely adored Ready Player One. Love the book, so I can't wait to give this a try. I've been wanting another book like that since then. Then I picked up Magic Hour by Kristen Hanna, which I'm shocked I didn't have. I love Kristen Hanna. I have a bunch of her books, but didn't have this one. This one is about a 6-year-old girl who who kind of appears in the Pacific Northwest, which is where most of her books are based out of. And she doesn't talk, and nobody knows where she came from, and she just kind of appeared. And so it talks about how this child psychiatrist works with her and kind of learns about what happened and where she came from. I didn't have to read any more than that. I love Kristen Hanna. I have no doubt that this will be a phenomenal book. And then the last one I picked up on Amazon was this, Gone with the Wind. I've always had this on my list of wanting to read. I had a horrible mass market paper crap. That's what it should be called. The mass market paperback edition of this that was, you know, this little teeny tiny horrible thing. So saw this, actually Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand hauled it and said she got it on Amazon, and immediately went in my cart because it's a nice big paperback. It's one of those floppy, like look at this flap. That's fantastic. So I'm much more willing to give it a try if it's in a format that I truly enjoy as a book. But yeah, definitely want to get to this sometime. I don't know when, because man alive, this just intimidates the crap out of me, but I want to read it. Alright, next up I took a little journey over to Half Price Books because I had, again, a gift card I needed to use up. One of the things on my list to buy from Half Price Books, besides Gone with the Wind, if they had it, they didn't. They had the mass market paperback editions, which I wasn't, no. But I did also want Lonesome Dove. This is by Larry McMurtry, another classic that I feel like I really need to give it a whirl. I know I'm going to like it. But I found this edition at Half Price Books. Again, nice and floppy. Fabulous book for being such a chunker. This, as most of you know, takes place in Lonesome Dove, Texas. Follows a whole bunch of characters. I believe most of them are a family, but I think it's more than just that. But they kind of go on a journey. I believe it starts out where they're going on a cattle drive, but I could get that wrong. I did start reading this in high school at one point in time, but just wasn't in the frame of mind in my high school days to tackle this big book. But I know I'm gonna like it once I get to it. So I picked that up, and then I just kind of wandered the store, as I do at Half Price Books. I did have on my list that I wanted to pick up and try an Agatha Christie book, so I picked up And Then There Were None. This is about 10 strangers that are kind of lured to a desolate island. They're presented with a bunch of clues, and as the clues come out, I believe people keep dying. I'm not totally sure, but I know it's one of her best ones. I have never read an Agatha Christie book, so I wanted to give it a whirl, so I picked that up. And then I found a couple of other ones as I was wandering. I found The Magician's Lie by Greer McAllister. I did hear about this one before. This is about a magician, and she's well known for her illusions. And one night during her show, something goes terribly wrong. She winds up in the police station, and she's questioned and kind of has to perform the best illusion of her life to kind of get out of the debacle. Sounds interesting to me. Sign me up. Next one is The Orphan's Tale, World War II historical fiction, people. Of course I'm going to buy it. This is by Pam Jenoff. This is about a girl who, I think her name's Nora or Nova. She winds up being pregnant at the age of 16, and the father is a Nazi soldier. So she is forced to give that baby up. After she does this, she finds a car, a boxcar, train car, full of Jewish infants that are headed for a concentration camp. So she takes one as her own to kind of replace the one that she was forced to give up. And she goes and hides inside of a German circus with this Jewish baby. Right? Right. Sounds awesome. Gotta pick that one up. Then I did my typical stop at the library, check out the bookstore, and I found World War Z by Max Brooks. Look at this edition for being a library book. It's like, did anybody even read this? Like, it's just, the spine's not even cracked. It's like a brand new book. I paid 50 cents for it. But this is an oral history of the zombie war. So we have survived the zombie war or the plague, and it's kind of a history of what happened. It sounds totally interesting. I have just gotten into the whole zombie thing. I watched iZombie. Yeah, if you haven't, it's a total WB, or not WB, CW type show, but it's good. I liked it, but I just kind of gotten into this. I did read another zombie book by Jamie. What was that called? Oh, it was really good. It's a really good book that kind of got me started with the whole zombie thing, so we're going to give this a whirl. Then I picked up Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I know this is the start of a series, which, you know me in series, but I've heard good things about it, and again, for 50 cents, I would pick it up. And this, too, there's like no cracked spine. It looks like it's a brand new book. But the back of it says, his wife taken, his people enslaved, driven by longing for justice and the memory of lost love, Daryl will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies, even if he must become one of them to do so. So, sounds good. I believe it's a dystopian type book. Then I picked up The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. This is about two girls who both rent the same apartment, one before the other. Make the same choices, make the same decisions. I know it's a psychological thriller, so something bad must happen. I'm assuming to the girl before. I don't read a whole lot into the synopsis of psychological thrillers because I don't want to know a whole lot. I just want to know that it's a good psychological thriller, and I'm going to pick it up. So for $1, I thought I'd grab this one. And then I picked up Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. This I have already read, fell in love with, one of my top books of 2017 that I've read. I felt like I needed to have this copy so I can go to all of my friends and force it into their hands and say, you have to read this book. You have to read this book, Behind Her Eyes. Psychological thriller. I'm not even going to tell you much about it other than pick up the book. It's fabulous. Then I had to kill some more time and stopped at my other local thrift store. I know they're having a book sale. That's what got me to go, so I'm not disappointed, but they only had a certain section that was just for the book sale, and the book sale was basically fill up a paper bag for $3. You can take all those books home. But all of the books were just nope, not even close to something I'm interested in. So, I mean, I did browse a little bit to see what they had, but I didn't really find anything over there. So then I went to the normal section that they have, found a couple of books. I don't know, she just really wants to play right now. So the first one is Reconstructing Amelia by Kimberly McCreight. I've heard some really great things about this book. This is about a girl named Amelia who is caught cheating at school. So her mom, Kate, is called, and this isn't normal for Amelia. She doesn't normally do this. So Kate goes to school to meet with the principal and kind of take her home or whatever. But by the time she gets there, her daughter is dead. Amelia has jumped off the roof of the school. And Kate is sure that, I believe Kate's pretty convinced it's not suicide, even though it's kind of been labeled as suicide. It doesn't feel like something she would kill herself over. So sounds great. I've heard really great things about it. The next one I picked up was Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I have not ever read this book. So I never understand what people are talking about when they talk about Mr. Darcy. I've never read it. I probably should. It's not that long. And for 50 cents, I picked it up. Plus, it's actually, for being from a thrift store, a pretty decent copy. Like, not worn all that much at all. So, I will take it. The next three I don't know a whole lot about. I've never really heard. I just read the back and thought they sounded cute or interesting and picked them up. So this is called South of Superior. This actually takes place in the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I don't live very far from the UP. As soon as they started talking about kind of the area, I easily could picture it. I've been up there a number of times, and so I thought that it would be interesting to have that kind of background or knowledge. And it sounds like a really cute contemporary book. It's about a woman, Madeline, who kind of runs away to this small town up in the UP and kind of drawn in by its magical or little special quirks that it has, and it sounds like a really cute contemporary book. Then I picked up, it says Because You're Mine by Colleen Cobble. This is about a woman named Alana whose husband is killed, I believe, in a car accident or a car bomb while she's touring in America. She is part of a band. So her manager gets her to marry her in order to gain U.S. citizenship so she can stay here a little longer. And he takes her home to this decaying mansion that is like full of secrets and this mystery that's behind it that she kind of discovers. So again, sounded interesting to me. And the last one I picked up was One Mississippi. This is by Mark Childress. This is about a boy named Daniel whose parents just moved to Mississippi right before the start of his junior year of high school. Kind of a strange time to move, right? So he's a little bit of an outcast in this town, and he finds a friend named Tim, and they commit a very small crime that sounds like it gets bigger and lies are told and secrets are kind of established and it gets out of hand from there. So again, sounded interesting to me. So I picked that one up. And then the last thing I did this month for my birthday was I officially joined the Book of the Month Club myself. Instead of borrowing all these books from my friend, I now can just have them myself and not have to worry about getting them back to her on a timely basis. So for the first two books that I picked up was Lies She Told by Kate Houlihan. This is about a woman who is an author and she's trying to write her next book. And I believe it is a mystery or a thriller, or there involves some sort of murders happening, and as she's writing it, it's actually happening. So it's kind of like what's going to happen if she writes the ending. Is that really what the ending is going to turn out to be? So it sounded pretty interesting. And then the next one I picked up was Emma in the Night by Wendy Walker. This is about a story about sisters, Emma and Cass. They are 15 and 17 when they just happen to disappear. 3 years later, Cass comes back by herself. What happened to Emma? That's all I want to know. So, sounded interesting. I stopped reading at that point because, again, I don't want to spoil myself. So, that got me hooked. Yeah, so I don't even know how many books. I don't want to count. I don't want to count. I don't want to know. Just be in denial about my book buying habits. So, but this is this better be my last haul for the entire year. That's my goal. We're going to go on a book buying ban, except for Colleen Hoover's book, because that's just an automatic. So yeah, if you've read any of these books, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know below which one I should pick up first and what you think about it. Let me know if you've ever tried a book buying ban before and if it's been successful. I laugh because I tend to say this a lot, that I need to just stop buying books, and then I don't. Again, thanks for meeting Snickers. She'll probably make a few appearances in some videos in the future. Maybe we should do a Snickers recommends. We could do that. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe below, and I will see you next time. Bye!